Hello everyone and welcome to the Sports Communication Show. I'm your host Jacob Hunt and alongside me I have my co-host Matthew Mays. Today we have a special show planned for all our viewers. We will have our show staff recapping all the sports across campus that have come to an end, and we will also be taking a look at what SWOSU sports fans can expect with this upcoming basketball season. We will have interviews with players and coaches for both the men's and women's basketball teams and get their thoughts on what the season ahead can look like.
During this time, we hope to cover all things sports for Southwestern and give a little bit of our own input as well. After that, Michaela Hunt will take over and we will gather everyone up and have a roundtable discussion on what our thoughts are for who the top 10 NBA players of all time are. Before we get into all of that, we have one person to talk about. SWOSU recently hired Jonathan Chidester to the athletic department. He is the newest member of the staff here on campus and has quite an interesting position. Jacob, you actually had a chance to talk with him.
Yes, I was actually able to sit down with him a few days ago and learn more about him and what he does here. I recorded my interview with him so I can show you guys who he is and what he does here. Hello everyone, I'm here with Jonathan Chidester, the Assistant Athletic Director for Media Relations. He was hired a few weeks ago to replace the previous Sports Information Director, Doug Self. So, welcome Jonathan.
Thank you,
for being on
sir.
the show. Wanted to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
Where are you originally from and where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so that's kind of where I claim growing up from, and then just kind of made my way to Oklahoma. I played baseball in college and then just kind of stayed in Oklahoma, met my wife, and here we are.
Nice. Where'd you previously work before coming to SWOSU?
So I'll throw in that I was a GA at SWOSU for a couple of years under Doug Self, but prior or after that, I actually got away from working in sports. I went and worked at Paycom, which is a pretty prominent Oklahoma City corporate business, and then worked there for 3.5 years, and then found my way back to SWOSU doing this new role.
With your new position here, what are a few of the things that you'll be doing on campus?
So titles, Assistant Athletic Director of Media Relations. Honestly, there's a lot that goes into that, but if you just want to stupid simplify it, you're basically just responsible for telling the story of SWOSU athletics. So you work with local medias, you run the website, you do all the stats, social media, all that content, just all sorts of that kind of stuff day to day.
Nice. With your job in athletics, what are a few of the ways that you can interact with the students here?
Typically, I would say just working on engagement, getting students to games. That's kind of part of the athletic aura is student sections and student involvement, getting the buzz around campus. So I would definitely just say anything that has to do with student engagement.
Yeah, that's all I have today. Thank you very much for meeting with me.
Appreciate you.
SWOSU 2021 fall semester sports have all come to an end. 5 different sports were played these last few months, those being soccer, football, cross country, volleyball, and golf. We'll be recapping all of them for you today. This year, teams and athletes from multiple different sports were able to set records and make history for their respective sport. Unfortunately, one of those records was not necessarily a good record to set, but we will get into that one in a few minutes. We will have a couple of our other team members joining us here next to give all the information about what has been going on for SWOSU athletics the past few months.
First up, we'll cover what happened in the world of soccer. The Lady Bulldogs had a fairly successful season, finishing their record with 13-7-1, while going 10-1-1 in their conference. They were able to end their season on the top of the rankings, making them the Great American Conference regular season champions, which is the 5th time the team has done that for SWOSU. The Dogs' final game of the season was on November 19th. They played the University of Central Missouri in the opening round of the national tournament. SWOSU fell to UCM Mules 1-0 in that game. UCM's lone goal was scored by Lindsey Edmonds in the 9-minute mark of the first half. After that early goal, both teams tightened up on defense and didn't allow any more scores. SWOSU didn't have many chances to tie it up, only getting 4 shots taken the whole game, 3 of those being on goal. Comparatively, the Mules were able to put up 14 shots, 6 of which were on goal. Ashley Hughes, the goalkeeper for the Lady Bulldogs, finished the tournament game with 5 saves for the team. While the team did not win the championship, there are many players that still had outstanding performances. There were 9 members of the team who made the All-GAC teams, 4 of which made the All-First team for the conference. Out of those 9, 3 players stood out on a whole different level. These 3 players each made the Division II Conference Commissioners Association All-Central Regional Team, which is a team selected by the region's sports information directors. The first of those players was junior defender Nicole Petrino. Petrino was the only SWOSU player from this season to make the first team for the region. Along with the team selection, she was awarded the Great American Conference Defensive Player of the Year. While she did not score the most points for SWOSU, Petrino was able to make a huge impact on the field for the team, which is what got her to be recognized as the defensive player. The second player to make the GAC All-Central Regional Team was sophomore Elizabeth Moreno. Moreno is also a defender for SWOSU and helped keep the opposing teams from getting past and scoring on them. She was named to the second regional team. The final player from SWOSU to be named to a regional team this past season was Brianna Benitez. Benitez is a sophomore who plays forward for the team, and she led the team's offense, having the most goals and assists. She finished with 12 goals and 5 assists for SWOSU. The team has a bright future coming in the years for the soccer program. The team has a large portion returning, with 20 members from the team being freshmen or sophomores. That is all I have for the soccer recap, and now I'll turn it over to John to talk to you about this past football season.
Unfortunately, SWOSU football had a poor season. They finished 0-11. On opening night, SWOSU, the stands were packed. We were ready to play because they had not played a game in 2 years. You could feel the energy in the stadium when it was packed. That first hit, and they were ready to play. First, let's talk about the offense. The offense was led by Tanner Griffin. He completed 137 passes out of his 259 for 1,899 yards with 13 touchdowns and 1 on the ground, so he had 14 total. With 12 interceptions though, but he also missed 3 games due to a foot injury. The ground game was created by Nate Davis and Kenny Graham. Nate Davis had 109 yards on 58 attempts in 8 games, with him missing also 3 games. Kenny Graham was the only running back that had played a full 11 games. He had 245 yards on 65 carries. The Bulldogs were led by 2 receivers, Torin Justice and Justin Bailey. Torin had 39 catches for 688 yards with 8 touchdowns on the season, which earned him an all-conference honorable mention in football. He was the only SWOSU football player nominated on any of the all-conference. Justin Bailey had 40 catches for 633 yards with 3 touchdowns. Justin Bailey also had a couple unreal catches, which I remember during the first game. He caught this spectacular catch when we were all excited for it. The offense averaged 21 points per game. They scored 21 points in 6 or more games, which is pretty good. Tanner Griffin, Torin Justice, and Nate Davis are all underclassmen who are ready to get back on the field next fall and try to compete and get SWOSU back to the top. SWOSU was a bit of a bright spot on the defensive side. SWOSU was led in sacks by R.J. Powell, who was a sophomore who had 5 sacks with 12.5 tackles for loss and with 1 forced fumble. It was important to see him step up as a sophomore, and he is ready to continue his thing next fall. Our defense is kind of on the younger side, with many of the players returning next year for their season. After the last game, our head coach did resign, so we are currently looking for a new head coach right now. Finally, good luck to the senior football players as they continue on with their future endeavors. Now on to Michaela Hunt with volleyball.
I'm Michaela Hunt, and I will be bringing you a recap of volleyball. SWOSU Volleyball has had quite the season and is currently in Hot Springs, Arkansas for the conference tournament. With a conference record of 13-3 and an overall record of 19-7, the Lady Bulldogs are currently ranked 2nd in conference play heading into the tournament. At home, they have won 9 games while losing none, and on the road, they have walked away with 7 wins and 4 losses. Their first matchup of the tournament will be against number 7th ranked Southeastern Oklahoma State University at 2:30 p.m. Oklahoma Baptist is currently ranked number 1 and will be the team for anyone to beat in order to walk away with the conference title. A few of the team leaders statistically are Mackenzie Benoit, who leads the team in kills with 275 as well as blocks with 103. Allie Hong leads the Lady Bulldogs with 936 assists and 35 aces. But last but not least, Sofia de Santiago leads the team in digs with 416. Various awards were received by a few of the Lady Bulldogs. Head coach Josh Collins was recognized as GAC Coach of the Year. Hong received Setter of the Year. Mackenzie Benoit claimed Newcomer of the Year title. Their first matchup of the tournament will be against number 7th ranked Southeastern Oklahoma State University at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, November 18th. I'm Michaela Hunt, and that is all we have on volleyball for today. Now we will go to Matthew for a recap on golf. Hi, Matthew.
Thank you, Michaela, for that recap on volleyball. Now we'll be talking about the Southwestern Oklahoma State University men's and women's golf teams. They finished their last tournament on positive notes for both teams. The men tied for 4th, shooting 2 over, while Heston Brown led the team tied for 3rd, shooting 8 under. And Gregor Weck shot 4 under to finish in the top 10 once again. Roger State would end up winning the tournament. And on the women's side of things, the women tied for 7th, and Megan Brown tied for 2nd, shooting 8 over. West Texas A&M University won the tournament on the women's side. Both teams should be extremely excited ending the fall season on such a hot streak, as both teams have had multiple top 10 finishes. Gregor Weck has recorded 2 Great American Conference Player of the Week awards so far this season. The Southwestern Oklahoma State University golf teams will pick play back up in the spring. That's all for golf, and I'll be throwing it back to the studio. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Wesley Mathis reporting the SWOSU Lady Bulldogs cross country. With the 2020 season being put on hold due to COVID, the Lady Bulldogs come back in the 2021 season being ranked number 8th in the GAC preseason polls. With head coach Jennifer Johnson and senior leads Bailey Richardson and Jocelyn Sheck, the Lady Bulldogs would finish 3rd place in the Mustang Invitational in Wichita Falls. With a couple weeks later, the Lady Bulldogs compete in the GAC Championship and would finish 7th with the prediction of finishing 8th. The progress of the cross-country Lady Bulldogs team is great and only could get better from here. This is Wesley Mathis signing out.
SWOSU sports are quickly starting up again. Basketball has already been going on for a few weeks now, and the season looks to be exciting for both men's and women's teams. The men's team has struggled a little bit in recent years. Last season they finished with just 7 wins and 11 losses. They have yet to have a winning season since the 2015 and 2016 season. After that season, Coach Bob Battisti announced his retirement, and SWOSU had to hire Terry Evans to replace him. The next season the team finished with only 4 wins, but every season since they have seen improvement, even if it's just a small bit. The team ranks just 10th out of 12 teams this preseason rankings, but as many teams have proven in the past, preseason rankings can mean nothing. The team has high hopes for the season, and the locker room has an energy that hasn't been seen in years. Led by junior Chris Braggs, the men look to turn the program around this year and shock the conference with what they're capable of doing.
The women's basketball team, on the other hand, have a few different things on their mind. The Lady Dogs have one goal set for them: a championship. The team lost in the national championship 3 seasons ago and want the win now more than ever. They were able to go 18-4 last season, which was cut short because of COVID. Bethany Franks returns as a 5th-year senior and looks to lead the team in any way she can, and alongside her is another senior leader in Lauren Ramey, who provides a decent amount of scoring for the team. Other key players for the girls are the 2 sophomores, Makaira Tramble and Macy Gore. Tramble averaged nearly 20 points last season as a freshman, and Gore added 10 points of her own with great facilitating. SWOSU is ranked number 1 in the conference going into the season, so they're looking to keep that ranking until the very end if they can.
And now for the roundtable discussion. The boys will be discussing their top 10 all-time NBA players.
Spot I have Tracy McGrady. He did have a short career because of injury, but I do believe he's like one of the top 10.
Any comments?
I don't think so. He's top 20, but top 10, you're crazy.
He was one of the only players that Kobe said could beat Kobe, but I think with his injury, he did not have a long enough career to be top 20 for me. But
I ain't got a problem with it. I like him. He's my favorite player.
But you can't base this off of who you like. You have to base it off of who is the best player.
I mean, but realistically, like he's
Stats. Tell him stats.
Yes.
Tell him.
of course, like he's not gonna
Receipts.
He's not gonna be in the top 10, of course, like, but because he didn't last that long. But you know, all of this is preference.
So in my number 9 spot, I have Allen Iverson. AI is just cold to me. To me, that's always been a thing.
Yeah, I'll give it to you because AI was like another Michael Jordan to me, but he was 6 foot. And he was way faster. And he cooked Michael Jordan. We got it on film. So I don't think he's better than Michael Jordan. I think he's up there with Michael Jordan, but I don't think he's top. I don't think he's top 10 because he didn't have a long, good career.
Yeah, I don't think he's really top 10 either.
But he is cold.
Yeah, he's wrong.
He's just not one of them brothers that's up there to be the greatest of top 10. He's not the greatest to me.
So 8, I have Bill Russell. Larry Bird was 6 for me. He doesn't. Mark just said it, dude.
I agree. Larry Bird, second greatest small forward of all time. I don't think KD's caught up to him yet.
No.
Yes,
Second?
KD is a better scorer
Oh
than him.
my-
I will give you that. KD's a better scorer than him. But overall, Larry
Oh.
led his team better than Durant could. I think
Oh.
Larry's top 10.
Okay, so like,
What
which
you
team
looking
do you-
at the kid?
For me, I have him at 11, but I like his placement. I'm not going to argue with him on that.
like, what makes him better than KD though?
Put this camera on me. Kevin Durant versus Larry Bird. Are you really thinking that Larry Bird can take care of Kevin Durant?
We're not playing one-on-one.
We're not playing
This is not
one-on-one.
one-on-one. If this was one-on-one, Shaquille O'Neal would be the greatest player of all time.
So you telling me Larry Bird is better than Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant? 7 foot? He is 7 foot.
So is Giannis, dude.
Giannis ain't shooting like KD.
What about Manute Bol?
Yeah.
7'7".
Yeah.
Bobo ain't shooting like KD at all. KD can shoot with his left hand. Come on now.
Larry Bird played an entire game with
Okay, I
his
knew
left
you-
hand and
I
dropped
knew you was
45
gonna say
points.
that. I knew
You
was
pulled
gonna
up Kevin Durant's left hand. So I'm pulling up Larry's
That was my
left
fault.
hand.
That was my fault. But Larry Bird just not messing with KD in his generation at all. Period.
In a 5v5 setting? No.
Mm.
Especially not 1v1. No way.
Not at all.
But I think for the time, you know, he's great. It was a different style of basketball back then.
Very true.
He had a team. I don't think he was good.
But if you take KD back there,
I think so.
nobody's going to be able to guard KD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He going to drop 50.
I'll take Trae Young over Larry Bird.
Oh, you look keep pushing it now.
Yeah, I'll go
Pushing it a
crazy.
little.
John Morant over Larry Bird. Yeah. I'll keep going.
I think John over Trey.
Had to
So,
draw a trade. End of the week.
So,
anyways,
I have LeBron at 2.
That's what I get you.
I just don't believe he doesn't have the accomplishments to me that MJ does.
outside of that, the mentality too.
Yeah, I feel like MJ, just watching The Last Dance and everything.
Exactly. That's why he did that. That's
I
why
haven't
he
watched
made the last
I haven't
dance.
watched it and I still MJ in my one.
I understand, but he made the last dance so he can just tell everybody, like young people, that he's the best. But MJ went to the Chicago Bulls. Where's LeBron? A low market. Cavaliers. MJ had Scottie Pippen. MJ had Dennis Rodman. MJ had Kukoc. MJ had Curry. MJ had, I can keep naming. LeBron had nobody.
Which year LeBron are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because you
When
you
he
saying,
first
like,
came.
so basically, like you saying, like Michael Jordan had a silver spoon, and LeBron just worked for everything.
Yes, and then he had a trade and everybody hated him.
So all them super teams, LeBron was a.
What?
Yeah, really.
Who did he win a championship with?
MJ was a super team. He had
You
the
cannot
best
tell me
rebounder.
LeBron didn't win a super team either, though. LeBron created a super team in Miami.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I'm gonna stop right this.
And the Lakers team,
Yeah, it's not exactly.
Yeah.
the one he just won the championship with.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like.
But he acting like y'all acting like Chicago. Chicago have money. They can do that.
LeBron got money too.
Yeah.
LeBron got money.
He's the first billionaire.
Move on.
Okay. I'll take it. Number 10, I have Hakeem. In my opinion, I think he is the greatest defender of all time. 3-time block leader, 2-time rebound leader, defensive player of the year twice,
Yeah.
2-time final MVP. One of the finals he won, if you look at it statistically, he played the teams with the best record all the way through his finals. 9, I have Bill Russell, 11 championships once again, 4-time rebound leader, 5-time MVP. Don't think he's not going to be in my top 10. Wilt, one of the greatest scorers ever, freak of nature, absolutely insane. 7, I have Tim Duncan.
Solid.
From the most fundamental player of all time. He has almost the same stats as MJ with only 1 finals loss and 5 wins instead of 6-0. 15-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, and 15-time All-Defensive teams. 6, I got Kobe. 5, Magic. I still think Magic is the greatest point guard of all time. I don't think Curry's caught him yet.
I can't say nothing.
Why?
Why?
Continue.
This year, I think he could. He's kept the Warriors to 18-2, right? Or 18-3. No, 18-2.
18-2.
And if he can take them through the playoffs, then I'll give him that spot. 4, I got Shaq. Probably the most dominant player ever. 3, Kareem, most points ever scored. And then LeBron and Michael. Michael's number 1, of course.
Of course.
Yes,
Of course.
Of course.
4, Kobe. You know, I can't really say nothing about that. 3, LeBron. I got 2, Curry, and 1, Jordan.
So Curry's better than LeBron?
Yes. Like, why wouldn't he do?
Where do you have Durant?
KD.
Where do you have Durant? Is he top 15 for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy to me.
What?
I guess, all right, my top 10.
No, finish your
I think KD's better than Curry.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Why? How is he better than him?
What does
No
Curry do
disrespect.
better than Durant?
Huh?
He shoots.
And he moves around. And he gets his team better, obviously. If you've seen the last 4 years.
Everything else Durant does better, other than shooting and running
That's what the
And lead his
and
team.
passing.
and
I'll get
lead
passing.
his team.
And lead his team. And loyalness. Because he's not loyal at all. He's going to trade you for a bag of rocks.
LeBron's not loyal.
LeBron is loyal. He's going to win the championship in deuces.
Okay, so
That's what he's
how
going to do.
so how has LeBron changed the game? How has LeBron changed the game? Yeah.
To me, because
Like, I'm
obviously he's my favorite player. Because, see, I'm going to say,
Playing wise. I'm
going to say playing wise because on my team, I feel like I'm the best player on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I got to get my guys involved before I get going. Like him, he gets his team involved before he gets going. He knows how to win with his team. MJ knows how to win by himself.
He gonna put on.
He gonna have 70. Everybody else gonna have 1 point on free throws.
So everybody gonna do their job.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna be mad and salty. Still right?
He's 6-0.
Okay.
They salty, but they got 6 rings.
LeBron went to the championship to the finals 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
10
And Curry beat him how many times?
Yeah.
with KD.
How come he didn't have KD?
Have to be exactly. Okay, what about the first?
They went 3 times.
The first time that the Warriors beat LeBron, they did not have KD.
Yeah.
When they went 7-3 and
But who LeBron had?
He had Kyrie. He
Kyrie.
had
Hurt. Who else?
Kevin Love.
It hurt. They was hurt. He was by himself.
So that's Curry's fault that they was hurt.
No, but LeBron still almost beat them.
Almost don't count.
I don't think he's really all that. But Shaquille O'Neal, number 7, he was that man. He used to, make you cry at night day before. So he was one of them men. So, and I think Giannis is caught up to Shaquille O'Neal because he won the championship last year and how he brought his team and stayed loyal. So I put him in top 6.
heavily disagree.
Yeah.
Giannis is not there yet. He's,
Giannis,
what,
we can pull up his
26
film.
He's 26 years old.
And he has a fat resume. His resume is thick at 26.
Compared to Shaq's resume, I'll just pull
I
up
understand
Shaq.
that, but let's put Shaq at 26 and Giannis at 26. Who resume is better? Let's be real.
I don't have Shaq's exact resume.
Let's be real. Who resume is better?
At that time, Shaq was on the Magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they went to the finals.
Exactly.
And he was
And he won a championship. Look, and Giannis won a championship. Look, Shaq had to go to the Lakers to go win one. You feel me? Man.
I'm stuck on the Magic part, to be honest with you. Like,
I'm sorry because Stephen Curry didn't fight.
Hold up, no, we're not done with Giannis.
Yeah, we're not on
We're not
Giannis.
done with Giannis.
There's
What
no.
has he done compared to Shaq?
Like I said.
We're talking about all
Right,
time,
all
not
time.
at this point in his career. You cannot take Shaq's
Look,
career
look,
from
I
when he got
understand that.
drafted to when he was 26.
I understand
You
that.
have to look at his whole career.
This three-
Three-time final MVP, most dominant
I
player
understand.
of all time.
I understand that.
One of the only big men to have multiple scoring titles.
I understand that. But Giannis is on his. He's on his team.
But he's not there yet. He's not there yet.
Giannis is better than Shaq.
No.
Any day.
Giannis is not better than anybody you have under him.
Okay, let's,
Okay, I'm sorry.
we'll come back to it if
Next.
we need to.
Reputation.
It's good that we won.
Yeah, I feel like I put MJ number 3 because he got carried. So, yes, he got carried.
By who?
With Scotty, we already named him. When y'all did y'all number.
He did not get carried.
Yeah, he carried them.
True, but honestly, if MJ was with the Chicago Bulls right now, they're scoring. I mean, if he was with the Chicago Bulls back then, they're scoring like 90 something compared to 120 points.
That's just the pace of the game. The
Yeah.
pace now is much faster and there's a
Yeah,
much
yeah,
higher volume
yeah,
of threes.
Yeah, they're losing. I'm telling you. Number 2, Kevin Durant. This high, shooting like this man, number Stephen Curry. He's really that man.
He's a traitor though.
He is a traitor. He really broke my heart because he was my favorite player. He was, but
How he a traitor?
he went to. But we're not gonna talk about that.
I want to know how he a traitor because he went to a better situation.
He went to Golden State.
Dude, he went to win the championship.
73-9.
He's not a trade. He is slightly traded. The only part about him leaving
You
was
from Oklahoma?
that yes.
So you
Kevin Durant was my
don't feel
favorite.
betrayed?
No, I think he is slightly a traitor. I don't think him leaving was the bad part. Him leaving to go to the team that just beat us in the
Yeah.
playoffs was the bad part.
Yeah, that's why I call him a traitor, really,
Yeah.
because he should have just stayed and beat them. And he
But
Maybe he did offer him the best deal.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just Kevin Durant.
But I
He's just a killer. I
He
think
is
he's
one of the
top.
best scorers of all time. Absolutely. You
Yeah,
cannot
one of the
guard.
best, and he is the best. Number 2.
I don't think he is the best.
Because he's 7 foot. He's killing all of them in the post, and he's shooting over all of them. All these guys.
You telling me you're gonna shoot over Giannis who's the same height?
Oh, y'all lucky y'all got my computer. Because he hit y'all with
How many
he
times-
hit
how many
Giannis
times
with a
has KD
hesitation dunk. I swear you seen it on the highlight.
How many times has he
I
led
do.
the league in scoring?
Huh?
How many times has he led the league in scoring?
I really can't
One
pull that
or
up
two
right now.
times. Shaq, who was taller, he was over 7 foot, he led the league twice. So if we're just talking about being 7
I
foot, being
understand
able to
that.
score.
But KD is leading the lead in scoring right now as we speak. Him and Stephen Curry. They're tied in points, just to let you know.
I know.
So I think he's coming today as we speak. We're gonna talk about LeBron James. My top number 1, LeBron James. I know y'all haters put him as number 3, 2, but LeBron is number 1 because he is 36 right now, and he's climbing up to the top in scoring lead, and he's climbing up to the top in leading assists, rebounds, really of all of it. So I just really think he's not going to
missing
work
like
down.
half the games right now.
Yes.
He's missing like half the games right now. Because he's so old.
This is his first time really missing games since this man lead his team to the finals 8 times in a row. Have MJ ever did that? No. Ever.
He would have,
Whoa,
but he left to go play baseball.
yeah.
His way to get to the championship was
7. He would have did 7. Sorry. 7 times. but not 8.
His path to
Hit
get there was
3,
crazy.
left, hit 3 again, and then left.
But that's the end of my top 10. MJ, I mean, not MJ, LeBron James.
You got it right. You should.
Is the best one.
Yeah.
And he always will be the best. Y'all look at him wear my jerseys today.
All right, we're
Oh,
out of
wear my
time
jersey.
anyways.
Oh my
That's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.